Next to this right now, we have the Philippines and Sri Lanka. Philippines in white, also known as the volcanoes, and Sri Lanka in green.
Back to the HSBC Asian 7 Series, just having a moment's silence to respect the people who have passed away in the super typhoon that's passed through the Philippines.
The Singapore Rugby Union, on behalf of the Rugby Community, would like to thank the Philippines Rugby team for coming to Singapore, and we would now like to observe a minute of silence for those who have been born in the super typhoon in the Philippines. 1 minute will start on the very next minute. Can we have everyone quietly please?
In particular, hearts go out to the people in the city of Tacloban, with more than 100 casualties there, and let's hope that's the worst of it in the next 24 hours.
Half-time interview.
Do this camper.
Oh, we have a guest commentator who's perched his way up into the commentary position.
Hello, Mike.
A
Hello,
man
everybody.
known as Boozer to the Asian rugby community, from the Rugby Asia channel, who are visiting the fine city of Singapore. How's it going so far, Boozer?
Hello, Mike. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Well, it's a great view you've got up here.
We like to take the best view, Boozer, and try and chop everything, as they say in Singapore. And this is going to be an interesting clash. The Philippines would have noted that Sri Lanka are a little short in forward power in their first game, and they've got some good ball players here, the Philippines. Here's Dennis Gordon, who showed some pace that runs in the family. Flash Gordon, they call him, and brother of Kevin Gordon from the NRL, Holgate. And here's Zapia at first receiver, who decides to barnstorm his way to the halfway line. Good run from Zapia. Offside play there from Sri Lanka. Marija playing advantage. Holgate decides to go for the penalty. He wants to get that 10-metre advantage from taking it quickly, but referee Azar goes back to the mark. So Jake Letts now with the ball.
Very lazy run in there from the Sri Lankan. Lucky not to be carded.
And Letts gets smashed in the tackle there. That's a good solid defence from Ratwate. So what are your impressions so far of Singapore, Boozer?
Well, this is our second weekend down here. We were here for the SCC Sevens last week, and it's been a great couple of weekends. Bit colder today with all the rain, obviously. It was very hot last week. But two very different tournaments, aren't they? I mean, bit of a different vibe here. Bit of a crowd over the far side there.
So a quick start here from the Philippines, wanting to get on with it quickly. This is Kovani, who's just coming away from the top league. He's playing the season at Coca-Cola West Coast Sparks and stripped in a ruck. So the Sri Lankans are penalised, and Philippines starting very positively here. Sri Lanka are third on the table so far in the series, and Just fancy this might be the Philippines' chance to upset the apple cart. Playing very well, so nice cohesion. Gordon's featuring a lot. Here's Zapia, who's committing a couple of defenders every time he runs. Good strong ball carrying from him. Oh, and that's a rudimentary error there from the Philippines player, Dennis Gordon.
Just took his eye off the ball there. He had a look to see how the Sri Lankans were reorganising themselves, and they were well organised. He spilt it.
So we've enjoyed some of the material you've been putting on Setanta, the Asian Rugby Network, Boozer. That must have been enjoyable to get around Asia and see some rugby tournaments.
Is that so, Mike? Well, it's good to hear that. Yep.
I have written a critique that I'll give you later, but face value, I've enjoyed it.
Looking forward to that. We'll put it on our LinkedIn page as an endorsement.
It's Herath, who's wrapped up in defence nicely. Gordon trying to make amends, although they've been penalised here, the Philippines, not releasing, and Holgate thinks he's got the penalty. And Holgate's put a pair of boots on with longer sprigs there, I notice. He hasn't got the golden boys on. Here's Susantha, who's always a dangerous runner. Surya gets held nicely in defence. Good defence from the Philippines team. Wrapping them up. Surya with some ball jiggling around like a pinball machine there, but Sri Lanka managed to get it. Marija, who sets up Herath nicely, manages to wrong foot Gordon. Herath, the way he goes, could have slipped the pass there too to Pereira. Numbers here, Susantha just needs to get it wide. Surya Bandara is such a dangerous runner. Oh, he just dances his way around. It's one-on-one. Ollie Sanders says, bring it on. And Surya says, I've got you on the outside, Ollie. There's nothing you can do about it. And away he goes. Opening try of the game. Well, they've been under the cosh, Sri Lanka, but a good comeback there from the magic man, Surya Bandara.
Philippines had several phases there, but they couldn't do anything with it. And Sri Lanka get it back for the first time in a few minutes, and away they go. Very dangerous looking runners out there.
He's got 81 points so far on the series. It's his 15th try. And he really has lit up some action so far in this tournament, Surya. He's been one of the guys who's got the crowd on his feet, on their feet. It's a lovely wide shot to show you the stadium here, and the woodwork comes into play, bounces out. So it's only 5-0 lead they take, close to half-time now, Marija. So let's just look at this dance around the defence. Just wrong-footed. A couple of defenders, I think it was Boheni. And then Ollie Saunders, he was funny. He said, bring it on. He's motioning with his hands. Come on, come to me. And Surya thought, no, I'm not taking the contact. I can use my pace and my momentum.
Lovely footwork in these conditions, Mike.
So first blood to Sri Lanka after defending for long periods of the first half. And here it is again. Sri Lanka could turn this one round quickly too. I think it's gone too far. Ball's gone dead surely. Ratwate with a determined effort to try and capture it before it went over, but referee Azar says 22. And Boozer, what do you think of the leading team so far? You would have seen Japan and Hong Kong in action. Any picks for the tournament?
Yeah, both teams looking good. Keen to see how Japan go in this next game. But the conditions, obviously, a real leveller here. This is the sort of weather you get for upsets. Only takes one sort of intercept or bad decision. You've got to get to the final first, don't you? Sri Lanka, Korea, looking good as well. Nothing's guaranteed. But yeah,
breaks the line, Pereira too. So it's Saunders again. Oh, no look pass to nobody. And could be a turnover here. Philippines will look to move it quickly on the outside. Holgate, does he realise he had a man on his outside? It was Jake Letts. Now the ball's turned over to Susantha. Gets it wide to Surya, who shows his pace again. And again he manages to outstrip the Philippines defence. Ollie Saunders will be having nightmares tonight. So they've had a couple of sniffs, Sri Lanka, and they've made the most of their chances to pull it out to 10-0 just before the break. Have you been to Sri Lanka to watch a bit of rugby, Boozer?
I was over there in about 99, backpacking around. I saw some cricket, but not some rugby. I was up in Kandy, and Pakistan happened to be playing Sri Lanka, like gods over there. But I didn't catch any rugby. I've been following Sri Lankan rugby for a few years since what's his name went over there to coach them, the ex-Hong Kong coach.
Bo?
George Simpkin, that's right.
Oh, that's a great shot of goal there from Marija. So he manages to convert one of the tries. So that gives them a 12-0 advantage as they go into half-time. Sri Lanka over the Philippines. So what would you be doing if you were the Philippines coach, Chuk, Boozer, apart from changing your nickname?
From Chuk, I'd be saying, guys, we've had enough possession to score some tries here. Get your heads up. Have a look where the gaps are, as you said there. They had a man overlap on their 22. And there wasn't division. But they're not out of this game. Are we on?
Yes, we're enjoying your comments, mate. Very astute. Please go on.
And you can see them gathering around. They just need to... they've got the wind behind them now and the sun in their eyes. It's a brisk wind and a dull sun. It's
like a slam poetry competition, Boozer. Nice.
Could there be a banana skin for the Sri Lankans? I don't think so. Sri Lanka, when they get the ball, they're just too dangerous.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of naivety from the Philippines team as well. A couple of rugby league players, and they've made some crucial errors at times as well.
Sri Lankans are defending well, though, aren't they?
Very much.
Getting their numbers up, reorganising well.
A real shame about the super typhoon Haiyan that's going through the Philippines. We hope you're safe and sound if you're watching us on YouTube. And so what else is in store, Boozer, for the Rugby Asia channel? Are there any other trips planned?
Yes, well, we are covering the Toulouse Racing Metro game today in Hong Kong. And we've got I think we've got Belgium playing against Hong Kong in December in Hong Kong. And there's a few tens tournaments coming up that we're hoping to get to. We're looking at covering rugby. We've got the Philippines, the Manila Tens. Before that, we've got the Bangkok Tens. We're trying to get the calendar a bit fuller in the first quarter next year to get some real quality clips coming through Setanta.
Nice, we'll look forward to those and enjoy the trips as we start the second half. Philippines really needing to score. Gets it out to Lynch too. There's a chance here. In fact, it was Coveney, who's about 5 metres out now, but good defensive rucking from the Sri Lankans. They come in from the side though, so Philippines get to tap it quickly. It's Coveney who goes over. The flying jeepney goes directly. Never mind the panel beating. Over he goes. Coveney, one of the most experienced players in the Philippines setup. Good for them to have him back in the fold for this tournament. So they're back in this game. They needed to score first, you felt. Coveney with a double tap there and uses his strength and power. He's a big man, plays centre in the 15s game. And he's a very big man and featured in the Home and Away series, the famous Australian soap opera, many a time as an extra in Speedos. Boozer, I know you like to wander around Hong Kong in your Speedos, so you'd be happy with that coincidence.
My kids love that when I pick them up from school in my Speedos. Is that so? I'm not a fan of Home and Away. I was more of a Neighbours guy.
Right. So they're unsuccessful with the conversion, so 7-point span here for the Philippines to overcome. Important phase of the game here. Philippines on a roll now. Nice high kick off. Susantha drops it too. Coveney straight onto it. So we'll come back for the knock on. Susantha, who's normally so reliable under the high ball, one of their better players in the series. Mr. Chula.
This is just what the Philippines need from the kick-off. Attacking scrum at 23 or 4 metres out. Can they get the phases going and keep their heads up and see where the gaps are this time?
So it's Letts, who's just come back from injury himself, the scrum half, who put the ball in here. Just outside the 22. Letts gets it away quickly to Holgate. Inside to Saunders, Matthew Saunders this time, who scored a couple of tries in the first game. It's a penalty to the Philippines, and again they take it nice and quickly. Sri Lanka on the back foot here. Holgate to the line. He'll try. I think he was going to close down the angle, but with the shallow in goal area, all he could do was dive to get the ball down in time. And well, this is going to be a showdown here. 2-point margin now with a few minutes to go on this kick. Oh, so important for Ollie Saunders.
I think he improved the angle there by about half a degree.
You could just see in his mind he was trying to pivot off his left foot to get round, but he realised it was too hard. He'd better secure the 5 points.
Very shallow, aren't they, those dead ball areas?
Yeah, the running track. I guess it's the curse of a lot of fields, not just here in Singapore, but you'd have them in Hong Kong too, I'm sure.
Yes, Aberdeen International Stadium. Oh, he's missed it.
He's gone astray. So 0 from 2 for Ollie Saunders. He's not been the most impressive from the kicking, usually very reliable, and it's good heady play in Holgate. Well, he knows the way to the try line, that's for sure. It's his 12th try of the series. He's up to 86 points now.
Scoreboard needs updating.
It just ticks over very slowly. So they want to regain possession here if they possibly can, Philippines. Look for a nice shallow kick. It's gone maybe 15, 20 metres. Susanta's under there again. He gets taken out in the air. It's all legal. The Philippines man in the air himself. So they've managed to regain possession. First job done. Holgate puts in a nice little kick. It's got them struggling. Herath kicks it back over his own line. He surrendered the 5-metre scrum. So good chasing there from Saunders. So they're really under the cosh here, Sri Lanka. A convincing performance in the first half, 12-0. And now Philippines are 2 points behind. And Herath, we don't usually see such a scatterbrained play from him. We just had the feeling that the Philippines attacker was up a little bit closer than he actually was. So lots of options here for the Philippines and some great runners if they can get some good clean ball. Let's though is snaffled by Surya Bandara, and there's a knock on too, so Sri Lanka have diffused that like an expert bomb squad.
Yeah, I think with the size of that Philippines front row, they could have just stepped over that rather than shooting it back there with the heel. Made it very untidy, hard to handle. And
that's the last thing Jake Letts will do. He's been replaced by William Dreves, who looked impressive when he came on. So Surya Bandara, that's a better scrum from the Philippines. And they've got a free kick here. What drama. Coveney again, will he go himself? Back himself? No. Gets it out. Oh, a lot of pressure though. Good, fast defensive line. It's Holgate again. Holgate really fancies himself at the try line. He's been brought down 2 metres away. Sniping Dreves. Saunders. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. He picks out his brother Ben Saunders, who goes over in the corner. And this is a fantastic comeback from the Philippines. As we discussed earlier today, the Philippines always look likely that they might be able to take the Sri Lankan team on. Sri Lanka's sitting pretty third in the standings at the moment for the series, and great play here from Ollie Saunders. 2 men outside him and picked the perfect man. Ben, his brother, ex-NRL player for the West Tigers. And at 15-12, the conversion from the sideline would be pretty handy here. Ollie Saunders with plenty of pressure. He's had his injury woes in the last year. A lot of problems with his knee. So 15-12 and just seconds on the clock. So are we looking at another surprise in this tournament? We've had 2 or 3 already today. Chinese Taipei taking out Thailand. That was a little hiccup. And Korea getting their own back at Malaysia. And now in Pool C, the Philippines leading Sri Lanka by 3 points. The Philippines currently 6th on the series ladder. So this is really one against the form, that's for sure. Ollie Saunders with a nice high-hanging kickoff. So Sri Lanka under pressure here. Marija gets clipped around the ear and gets up and goes for it. Marija determined. to win this game for Sri Lanka. And what pace he's showing. We haven't seen this sort of pace from Marija before. He goes round the outside of Ollie Saunders and says, take that, the Philippines. Marija with a great captain's run there. Fantastic play from the Sevens veteran from Kandy, Fadzil Marija.
He's broken the hearts of the Philippines. They could have had that. They've gone 90 metres to score down the other end. It's never over till it's over.
And Marija, well, he showed his experience there. We see him get up like a flash from the ground. He got clipped around the air. It took him to ground. Look at the determination on his face and the speed. He's very much a link man, Marija, but that was all passion for 60 or 70 metres there. And Ollie Saunders obviously not back to his best as far as pace goes. But they've won the game here, Sri Lanka. They've got it back on the balance. And that is a Houdini-like act from Fadzil Marija. And the crowd is happy. The Philippines devastated. They thought they had that game in the bag. And credit to them. They came back with a 12-point deficit after half-time. Took the lead. But their dreams were dashed by the man in the 10 jersey for Sri Lanka, Fadzil Marija. So confirmation of the final score, 17 points to 15 to Sri Lanka over the Philippines. And we'll quickly do our maths and tell you exactly